Prepare yourself to be blown away by the seismic sounds and scrutiny of Aftershocks Podcast with Critt, Adkins, and Matt Hartnett.
All right, well, here we go. Aftershocks number 22. And joining me on the podcast today, we got a dual threat coming to us from the great state of Michigan. We got vocalist Brandon Critt and Jesse Adkins from Detroit hardcore heavyweights Smash Your Enemies. Guys, man, thanks for coming on. So how you both been dealing? Sure, man, thanks. How you guys both been dealing with this whole pandemic shit we've had going on the last few months?
It's been hectic.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
It looks like it's getting a little better.
Sure, yeah. Slowly but surely.
Coming and people are getting outside a little more now.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. What about the band?
Starting to open up.
Cool, man. What about the band? You guys been doing it? Writing new music or playing on anything for the future?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
We're working on a new EP right now. So.
Oh, cool.
We got a new music video coming called "Sick World."
Nice.
The last EP, "Become Death."
Okay. Hell yeah.
And that song we wrote, 6 months before all this shit was going on. And it fits exactly with the times of what is going on.
Sure.
Not just with the pandemic, but also with all the, the unjust in the world.
Sure.
And,
absolutely.
It's going to be heavy.
Totally, man. Cool, man. Well, shit. Well, you guys, let's talk about the most recent release you guys had out, Become Death. It's an EP that came out on Upstate Records last fall. That's a fucking brutal record, man. I mean, the first time I saw the video for Driven by Hate, man, I thought I was in like a 90s hardcore time warp, man, because that song, man, that's I grew up in the 90s, with hardcore. That was my shit. So, I don't really the whole EP's got a lot of those 90s, hardcore groove parts.
That's what I grew up through as well, is the 90s hardcore.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been a decade yet that's getting harder than the 90s hardcore.
I'll agree with you, man, on that. Absolutely, man. Yeah.
All the bands from the 90s, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has that feel.
Totally, man. Yeah, because, you guys, obviously the other songs you guys have are, they're balanced out with the traditional hardcore. You got a lot of the modern, beatdown parts too. But like I was saying, you guys you don't hear too many bands playing that style of hardcore anymore, like that 90s kind of style. So,
a lot of these motherfuckers went soft, didn't they?
Yeah, they really sure did, man.
That bubblegum shit. All that
sure.
Bubblegum, girly shit, two-step. We're bringing a whole different kind of a beast.
Yeah, no, man, I love it, man. So, yeah, tell me about the band's inception a little bit, because I think you guys originally start out as like it was like a side project, Smash Your Enemies.
Yeah. Actually, me and my brother started in 2008.
Okay.
He's not in the band no more, but shout out to TJ.
T-Bird, OG.
Yeah,
nice.
We just started out as like a just wanted to do different stuff, man, and just started out as kind of like a side project. Wasn't really trying to do much with it, and then now here we are today. So
nice. So cool. So I mean, because you guys did release a full length, right? Like back in around 2011 or so.
December
2010ish.
December 9th, I think. 2009. We dropped the Great Midwest Trend Kill.
Okay.
And
nice.
then we dropped an EP and called Life Sentence, and then we've done this one as well.
Nice. Okay, awesome. Hell yeah. Well, yeah, man. Another thing about you guys, talking about the '90s and hardcore and just hard rock music itself, metal, whatever, is you guys have the tag team approach there on vocals, man. That's something that really became a thing,
when you have two singers in a hardcore band, so a lot of times it's hard to make it work. A lot of times you'll get that Batman Robin thing where one dude's super good and the other dude's kind of fucking around. But when I heard Brandon, I was immediately blown away. I heard Life Sentence. I thought, oh my God, this kid can heavy. So we both kind of bring that same kind of attack. You know what I mean? It ain't. It's both of us.
They kind of feed off each other.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to do it with someone else for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, was that like an intentional thing, or you just kind of like you guys knew each other before it, and you just kind of, I mean, how did that come about? How did you decide, like, what, let's do a vocalist thing? Because like I said, you just don't see that much anymore. I mean, you used to see it in like bands like, you know, Biohazard, Blood for Blood, and so forth, man. But you just don't see that anymore, which I love it, man. I love the tag team approach. So
just wanted to do something different.
Something different, yeah.
Know?
Sure.
Yeah, you know, add some more flavor to it.
There was a band back in the 90s from Detroit. Definitely check them out if you haven't. They're called Underground Disciples.
Okay.
And they had 3 singers.
Wow.
2 of them were doing a lot of hip hop, and one dude kind of did a lot of screaming and stuff. One of the best of all time.
Nice.
But for me, Cole's Life just broken up, and you know, Brandon would hit me up. We started talking, and I had a lot more stuff I wanted to say in music.
Sure.
And you know, we talked about it, and we practiced it, and we knew kind of right off the bat, like this is dope.
Growing.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh yeah, man.
Nice. You're 100% right. A lot of times it's hard to make that work.
It is, yeah. Wow, you guys do a great job, and man. Speaking of, Cold as Life, Jesse. Like I said, you obviously were in the band up until I think its most recent lineup. Yeah. So how was that experience for you, man? Coming into an iconic band like that. You know, for people who don't know about, it's
Cold Life is my all-time favorite band. I grew up listening to Cold Life. That shit is like the gospel to me. It's like the Bible. You know what I mean? Like Marlene Harder is literally like my life story. You know what I mean? That Crack Baby on there is like I'm a real life Crack Baby. So when I was young and I seen that, it just the art with it, the music, knowing the guys, that's just was life changing. And then getting to be a part of that was kind of surreal for me. You know?
I'm sure.
I wish things were different. You know, I wish Cole's Life was still running, but you know, I can't really get into all that. But
yeah, no, I know. I mean, and for people that don't know, I mean, obviously, like you said, they're such an iconic band out of Detroit. Plus, there obviously has been a lot of unfortunate, hardships with the band, some of the band members over the years. So it's definitely, you can make a whole movie on that band. There's no doubt. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about Detroit hardcore, man. I mean, obviously, it kind of gets sometimes overlooked. Detroit and just the Midwest hardcore in general, because I think most people seem to kind of always think about the scenes that are on the coast, man. But if you think about really, Detroit and Midwest hardcore, I mean, especially Detroit, I mean, you got, obviously the Godfather's Negative Approach, John Brandon, obviously came out of Detroit. You had even Touch and Go Records, that was one of the first labels that put out hardcore, and they started in Michigan, even though they're in Chicago now, I know, but they started in Michigan.
Right.
Obviously a couple others. You
got Cold as Life.
Yeah, Pitbull.
Approach.
You
got Tyrant. You got Earth Mover, which was
Alliance.
Earth Mover was one of the biggest bands in the '90s as well.
Sure.
Alongside Cold as Life was Earth Mover.
Yeah.
You got the Alliance. You got a lot of new bands now.
Yeah.
Hushed. They're doing a lot of things.
Annie Up.
Annie Up. Yeah, sure.
What's that? There's another one.
High Alert.
High Alert.
High Alert.
There's
Cool.
a lot.
Enemy of God.
Check out Old Universal Stomp. One of the heaviest. I mean, heavy. This
Very
is all
cool.
90s.
All 90s stuff, yeah. Very cool,
my
man.
God. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
I can't get over it.
so why do you think the reason is? Why do you think a lot of like the Midwest Detroit kind of hardcore stuff never really? I mean, people know it, but you think it's because maybe the bands did not tour enough? Or, I mean, why do you think it got overlooked? Why do you think everyone just doesn't tend to see all the great stuff that comes out of there?
It's hard to tour, man, right now.
It's a little bit of all that, I
Yeah.
think for being in a band and being able to really get out and run, because even a lot of these bands we mentioned, a lot of people don't know except us here in Detroit,
Sure.
because they're like gods to us.
No,
But what we
not
do
people
know,
can get out either, It's
what we do know is Detroit has its own, I believe it's the hardest city on the planet, easily, and it produces the hardest music of all time because it's music that really touches your soul. You feel this music, and you listen to Cole's Life. It ain't like you're listening to some beatdown band. The lyrics, the message, this shit hits your heart,
Sure.
So a lot of bands get a lot of hype, get bands and whoever, California, New York, wherever, and they got a lot of hype, but the message ain't there, what I mean?
Sure.
And I think that's what Detroit does the best, is they really hit you in your heart with that. You want to feel it,
Cool, man. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, and speaking of Detroit and you guys, man, I know you guys have a penchant and a reputation for putting on some real barn burners, man, some real chaotic shows. Obviously,
just bring it, man. We just bring it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's good because these days, man, the scene, it's just like, it's way different from what we grew up with, right? I mean,
exactly.
That ruggedness and that grit's kind of, it's not as much, it's not there as much.
Alive.
That's great to hear, man.
Keep that alive.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
That grimy, hardcore, we're trying to keep that alive.
Yeah. Do you guys, because I see it out here, man, I mean, it's just not the same, man. Do you guys...
Where you at?
I'm up in the Bay Area right now, but I've lived down in. I was down in L.A. for a while. I had a record label down there, a hardcore label, for a little while back in from 2005 to 2009. So I mean, I've been to seen a couple of scenes. I grew up in New York, so I grew up in the New York hardcore scene, But it just seems like a lot of it, man. It's just like I said, it's kind of. I wonder if a lot of it has to do with a lot of these cities are not, there's not that urban blight and that ruination that used to go on. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're all becoming
a lot of it is that, and a lot of it is conviction. Back in the '90s, and maybe a little bit of we're getting old.
Sure.
But I do know, like the conviction is not there. You know what I mean? Like it seems like they just bands will start up and they'll last a year and they get all this hype and then they break apart. Mm-hmm. I remember bands, you have to run until the wheels fall off. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of bands don't have that no more. There's no more conviction, and you can really tell that within the lyrics. You can tell when it's bullshit or when it actually means something to the writers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because whatever it is, especially with hardcore, a lot of this shit is tough guy shit, and a lot of this, but that ain't who those people are.
Sure.
So I want you to talk about what you really know about. If you're a fucking pig farmer, write about it. Yeah. And I can believe it because you'll believe it. Mm-hmm. So when we're telling you the shit that we see in Detroit, it's the truth.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not some suburban kids, fantasy. You know what I mean? It's what it is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a reality.
Exactly. Yeah. No, definitely, man. So you guys are in a great home, man. Right now, we were just talking about before. You're on Upstate Records, man, with Mario and Kim.
Big shout out to Mario.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mario, you're the man.
All the Upstate bands.
Yeah. Well, what are you guys have been real fortunate to be on that label. That's a killer label, man. They got, Anti-Up's on there too, right? So you got a couple of Detroit bands both on there. What do you guys think of doing once, if things go back to quote unquote normal? You think you guys going to go out there and show the world what you got? You get a tour, or like you said, you got a new EP coming out, right? So,
Well, the new EP is getting
It's in the works.
It's in the works? Okay. Okay.
It's still in the works.
Cool.
Being wrote.
But yeah, we definitely would love to come out. We got Upstate Fest coming up.
We got a show in August in New York. Upstate Fest.
But yeah, we all got full-time jobs too, so it's really hard to get out and really hit the road. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like we want to.
But we are going to.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna hit some.
We want to hit up Europe.
Yes.
Japan. We want to do a few things that are going to be, extremely fun for us.
Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah.
We're definitely gonna get out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Awesome.
We'd like to come out to you. We'd like to come out
to
we got good friends out there in Terror and Lionheart and Hoods.
Awesome.
We'd like to come out there and play with those dudes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. And that's what's great about Upstate, man. It really, there's not too many, other than maybe like a Bridge 9 or Eulogy. That's probably the biggest label we got right now in the States, in terms of hardcore.
Easily, for sure.
Yeah. And
Mario is awesome. Everybody over there is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they really know how to treat the bands, man. They really know, they know how to, push the product. They have a good business model. You know what I mean? So it's not like, like I said, they get the bands. They understand that, the music and the personalities and the people come first. They have that family philosophy, man, which is, I think, really cool that a lot of labels don't have. A lot of labels try, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not just another number with them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I got a really bad car accident about 2-3 months ago, on the freeway. And Mario was one of the first people to text me. He texted me 2-3 hours after it happened, and not a lot of people even knew about it.
Wow, damn.
And he hit me up and, wanted to know if me and my wife were okay. And it was just, that was heartfelt,
Yeah. No, absolutely.
He didn't have to do that, but he did. Yeah. And that shit goes a long way with me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Mario's the homie.
Yeah, absolutely. So how does it feel when you guys, like you said, you both got full-time jobs and everything. How tough is that these days, trying to balance like a band that wants to tour and work?
It's got to be the right situations for it. All the guys have jobs, and if we're gonna go do a 10-day run, it's got to be planned out way in advance. It's got to make sense for the band, and we want it to be good.
Sure.
So it's just a lot of, give and take. If we take 10 days off work to go do a run, it's got to be worth it for us.
Sure.
And just stuff like that, balancing it out what's, possible.
Don't get me wrong,
and
dude,
not
I would
possible.
love to just get out and.
I know it's just not possible like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, man.
No more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. No, totally.
Right.
Everyone's got families and all that stuff.
Right,
So yeah,
right.
exactly, man. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think that's great though. You guys are still doing it. Like I said, I love that you got that sound, man, because you just don't hear it anymore. A lot of the newer hardcore bands, a lot of them. I mean, I like a lot of the new stuff, but it's a lot of that. It sounds the same. You know what I mean? When I listen to you guys, it's like, man, I love. Like I said, I love that 90s sound is. You guys are keeping that alive, man. So definitely keep doing it, man.
Keeping all that, keeping that inside of the music,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Not big breakdowns were in the 90s, so
yeah,
we love to bring those back,
Yeah, no, you guys definitely do, man. Well, cool, man. Well, hey, so go ahead. I want you guys to go ahead and throw out some plugs, man, where the listeners can hear your music, and when you guys maybe start touring in the future, they can just check out merch or whatever else you guys got out there.
Spotify merch now.
Okay.
Upstate,
yeah, Upstate.
I think Become Deaf's on. Is it Bandcamp?
Yeah, Bandcamp.
It's on Bandcamp and on.
It's out there. Right?
It's everywhere, really.
iTunes.
Yeah.
Okay.
iTunes.
Very cool, man.
And you can see us live in New York in August on Upstate Fest.
Yeah.
Then we play Sunday.
Yep.
We play Sunday. Yeah.
And that's still going on right now, right? They have that's nothing's been canceled. Nothing. Right? That's good.
Canceled.
As far
Cool.
as we know, everything's been running. So hopefully all this shit blows over and we can get out there, man. Because
we're working right now and making it happen.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We hope it all works out.
In the meantime, we're gonna still put out videos, try to get some new music together, and keep doing what we can, man.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, keep doing it, guys. I love the last record and
out too already. Become Death. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have seen it. Yeah, I've seen both.
That's out as well.
I've seen that. Absolutely. And then you said you got one for Sick World coming out, right?
Yeah. That's in the works.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, cool. Well, thanks, guys, man. Really appreciate you guys coming on, man.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And go ahead and pick a track, man, off of Become Death. We'll put it on at the end of the podcast here.
Sick World.
Sick World?
Sick World, man.
There it is. Perfect.
Yeah,
all right.
Ready for it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. You got it, guys. All right. Hey, thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate you guys coming on, man.
Thanks,
all right.
man.
Have a good one, guys. Take care.
You too, brother.
Never gonna
Thanks for listening to Aftershocks. For more episodes, go to our website at www.aftershockspodcast.com. Visit us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for more news and information on the podcast. And be sure to subscribe, listen to, and review all episodes on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other podcast platforms. For your music listening pleasure, visit our website or go to www.shockwavesradio.com. For all comments and questions, please email us at info@aftershockspodcast.com.